Gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Sports Talk, Talking Sports with Alec Pecano. And let's get right into it. So, I'm going to give you my thoughts so far on the Rays season. About 30 games, 40 games into it. My, and this is my opinion, no, non-judgmental opinion as a Rays fan. If you want to agree with me, you can. If you want to disagree with me, you can. But now let's get started. So far, I'm impressed with what the Rays have been doing. 40 games or so into the season, I think the two things that can hurt them in a big way. One is all the injuries they've had to their pitching, which includes the latest being Josh Fleming going on the injured list, Drew Rasmussen being on the injured list, and we have no clue when or if he is coming back this year. Um, Jeffrey Springs being out for the whole season, basically, because of having to have Tommy John surgery. And in the latest pitching injury, Calvin Fauché goes on the injured list the other day, and they bring up today, today, correction, today Calvin Fauché went on the injured list for the Rays, and they called up Luis Patini, who's been pitching as a reliever this year and not as a starter. And I'm integrally interested to see what Patini looks like as a reliever compared to starting. Um, I guess we'll see when he makes his first appearance. So now let's get to the guys that are surprising me offensively. One is a guy that Rays got at the deadline last year, Jose Siri. He's impressed me. I knew he was fast and had a lot of speed, but the thing that surprised me is the amount of home runs he's hit. He hit a home run the other day. Now he has 11 home runs on the season. And I'm going to be fairly honest here. I was not expecting him to hit that many home runs this early in the season. And but I'm sorry, he's a way better defender. And I know I'm going to get a lot of slack for this. He's a lot better of a center fielder than Kevin Kiermaier was. I know people are going to disagree with me and say that I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion. Kiermaier was good the first 3 years he came up and played for the Rays. The one difference between Siri and Kiermaier is Siri can actually hit with a squat. Kiermaier couldn't. Kiermaier was only good on defense and stealing bases. That was it. He could not hit. Worth a pinch of a grain of salt. Putting it nicely, quite frankly. And the two other guys that have surprised me this year for the Rays are Luke Raley, who they got midway through last season. I knew he had power. I watched some of his minor league highlights, but I didn't know it was serious power. Like he's been showing this year with 11 home runs, and he's only playing part time. He's platooning. He does not play against right-handed pitching. He only plays against lefties, and quite frankly, I think he needs to play every day, and I think the next guy I'm going to talk about needs to play every day, and that would be Josh Lowe, who came up last year and struggled. He hit well under 200, had a very robust strikeout rate, which was at 40%, I'm pretty sure. 40 or 50%, give or take. But looking forward at it now, he worked hard over the offseason with Chad Matola, the hitting coach, and he lowered his hands, and he says he feels more comfortable this year in the big leagues compared to last year. And I feel like he should be playing every day over Manuel Margot, or he should be at least DHing every day. Get him everyday regular at bats with because he's going to be with the Rays probably for a long time. They're probably going to re-sign him to a 4 or 5 year contract when his arbitration years are up because they don't want to lose him. And the other guy I think they need to give more bats to now with Brandon Lau being out is Vidal Brujan. And I think if Brujan gets a significant amount of playing time, I'm not saying he has to start every game, but if he starts 10 or 15 games, that's 4 games a week, I think he could be a serviceable second baseman. And news just came out today that Lau's going to be shut down from baseball activities for 2 to 3 weeks to rest his injury he suffered to his back. And what I think the Rays need to do is they need to do a platoon between Taylor Walls, and Vidal Brujan, and who's ever hitting better needs to be the stronger side of the platoon because they're both switch hitters. But if one's playing at second base, the other one can either play third or come off the bench, or if Franco needs a day off, which I'm going to get into him in a second. But if one of them needs a day off, then you put the one that's not starting, you put them at short for Franco to give him a day off. And you let the other one play third base and give Isaac Paredes a day off. And like I said, that's what I would do if I was Kevin Cash. But I'm not Kevin Cash. I'm not the manager of the Rays. I'm a fan. There's 2 more points of view I'm going to talk about with the Rays. One is their starting pitching. McClanahan's been really good. Really, really, really good. And I think he's the front runner for the Cy Young. I know it's only June, but mark my words, I think he's going to win his first Cy Young this year. Unless he gets hurt in his second half of the season, he will win the Cy Young Award in the American League. And the other one I want to talk about is Taj Bradley. If he's eligible for Rookie of the Year, I think he might win it. Might. I say that. I don't know the other rookies in the American League, but I think he's got a good shot at winning Rookie of the Year in the American League because not a lot of people know about him. They don't follow prospects like certain people. But that's my gist on the Rays. Now the next topic I'm going to talk about is the Cincinnati Reds and how surprised I am by them. I thought the Reds were going to be, and again, this is my opinion. You guys can disagree or agree with me, but this is my opinion on the Reds. They've been very surprising so far early in the season. I got to watch the end of their game tonight against the Dodgers. They have a lot of good young talent. Ellie De La Cruz, uh, Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Tyler Stevenson, Will Benson, Jonathan India, Nick Senzel, who's hurt. But I think if the two teams in front of them falter, the Pirates and the Brewers, the Reds can win the National League Central with 80 or 90 wins. And I think they will get that. And if they don't, y'all can look back in this video and clown on me all you want, and I won't get mad. Because I think the Reds, there's something special about them. Just like the Rays. The Rays and the Reds, there's something special about those two teams. Not only because I'm a fan of them, but because something special about them. Something special about the Reds. They haven't played this good in a long time. They were bottom dwellers in the National League Central the last 3 or 4 years, and now they're starting to call up their prospects. Oh, and need I mention they called up their top pitching prospect the other day to start, Andrew Abbott. I watched him, electric. Low 90s fastball that has a lot of movement and dominant. I think it was 6 or 7 strikeouts in his major league debut. No runs. I think he walked 3. He walked 3, struck out 4. Went 6 innings. And that's all I want to say about the Reds. My last topic I'm talking about tonight is Chris Paul getting waived by the Phoenix Suns. I could have said I saw this coming when they got eliminated from the playoffs. Because Chris Paul's on the, I'm not going to say the wrong side of 30, but he's getting up there in age. He's got maybe 2 or 3 more years left of playing, if that. And he's not necessarily going to be around much longer playing, but I have 2 teams I think should go after him in free agency whenever it opens, that they don't necessarily need a point guard, but they can use a veteran to mentor some of their young guys that are point guards. One is the Orlando Magic. I love Markelle Fultz. I love Cole Anthony, but we need a veteran to mentor those 2 guys. They're going to be, don't get me wrong, I like both. I'm a Magic fan. But this is coming from, and I know how good Chris Paul is. And he would help the Magic big time. The Magic were so close. If they stayed healthy, they would have made the play-in. No questions about it. They would have made the play-in tournament. And they probably would have lost in the play-in, but that's playoff expansion. And Chris Paul, if he signs with them, could help. And the second team I'm going to talk about is where he started his career, the Los Angeles Clippers. Finish, Clippers, if you're listening to this, which I know you're not, but one last hurrah with Chris Paul. Sign Chris Paul. He doesn't have to play 30 minutes a night. He can play 10 to 15 minutes a night. Come off the bench. Let him finish his career where it started. That's what I think you should do, LA. But again, it's your decision, your choice. If you want to sign him and let him finish his career there, go ahead. If you don't, not a problem. And thank you. That is the end of the show. I will be back again tomorrow at 1:10 for the Rays game. I will be streaming that on YouTube. And then I will also be streaming at 4:30 tomorrow. Thank you. Having a wonderful, amazing night.